Tank is a southern district in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province of Pakistan. The city of Tank is the capital of the district, which consists of Union Council City I and Union Council City II. There are 16 Union Councils of District Tank. Tank was formerly part of District Dera Ismail Khan District. Tank is bounded by the districts of Laki Mawat to the northeast, Dera Ismail Khan to the east and southeast, and Fr Tank and South Waziristan to the southwest, west and northwest. The climate in Tank reaches 110 to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. However, in the cold, harsh winters in the mountains to the west, people come to Tank to enjoy a pleasant stay and then return during the summer. Administration. The district contains one tahsil, also called Tank, and is represented in the Provincial Assembly by one elected MP, Gulam Kadir Bitani, who represents the following constituency: PF 69. Problems. Tank City is one of the less developed district in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. I would like to mention few of problems being faced by the people of Tank. In Tank, there is only one government civil hospital which is not sufficient for the people, which is more than 1 million in numbers. The second important problem is shortage of clean drinking water. It may be mentioned that the water used for drinking avail from open stream coming from Tank Zamin stored near the city and later given to people. While using you watch dust filled in the water and people use it, which is very dangerous for health. The third most important problem is education. There is only few high schools in the city and the existing also need proper maintenance of attention of the government. There is need to establish more high schools for girls students, and in my knowledge there is only 1 or 2 high school in the city. There is only one boys degree college and recently established girls degree college, which is good addition, but there is need to establish more education institutions in the city. In Tank PPP government established passport office, which is very good and helpful for the poor people. In Tank so-called vocational college also operating, but nobody checked them. In the jurisdiction of city, there is big agriculture land, and if government manage water for the farmers, they can produce good wheat and other crops. People. Saraiki people are supposed to be the permanent residents of the city, but during last 2 decades the city became the second home for the tribes of South Waziristan Agency and Frontier Region Tank. Most of the tribes built their houses in these cities. Bitani tribes living in the outskirts of the city, which is named Umar Ada and its adjacent villages, and Fr Tank, while most of the Masood tribes also built their houses in the city. A number of Mawat also residing in Union Council Kundi area of the city. In Jatathar area, mostly Saraiki people are residing, but now they can speak Pashto and Saraiki. Due to presence of number Pashto-speaking people, the Saraiki people also started speaking Pashto with them. Tank have a considerable population of influential Arain tribe. The Arains of Tank district found both as Pashto-speaking and Saraiki-speaking. The Arain tribe found predominantly in Tank as Islam arrived in Tank in the 8th century A.D. during Muhammad bin Qashim's expeditions towards Multan. The Arains of Tank are the descendants of those Arab tribes who came in the region with Muhammad bin Qashim and later headed towards Suleiman Mountain range towards west of Multan. Arain tribe have really good reputation in the Tank city area and surrounding areas since centuries. Current Nazim of the Tank city advocate Zahid Khan Arain is also elected from the Arain community. Shrines. Shrine of Pir Sabir Shah Baba is one of the prominent and most visiting place in the city. A number of devotees from the city and adjacent districts including Banus Laki and Dera Ismail Khan visiting this shrine. The 3-day URs of Pir Sabir Shah Baba annually organized from June 2 to June 5. Earlier, The Uars was considered to be one of the big festival of the city, and a large number of people attending the Uars. The shrine custodians still distribute foods among people visiting the shrine, and halwa given on every Wednesday. Second popular shrine is Mama Pir Ziyarat, which is located near Umar Adda, and a number of devotees visiting the shrine of Mama Pir. The Uars of Mama Pir also organized annually. Nawab Kia. Nawab Kia is a mud fort built most probably by Nawab Kaital Khan with a spectacular view and spread over an area of approximately more than 200 canals of land. The Kia is situated at one corner of Tank City, and that is the imaginary line dividing Tank into upper and lower part. The mud walls are several feet high, approximately equal to a modern-day three-story building. Huge trunks of trees can be seen poking out from the walls of Kia. These were used to give strength and stability to the mud walls. There were 4 huge bergs at each corner of the Kia, with several intervening pickets at regular distance all around. The 4 main bergs were used as an entrance for armed men who could move around and reach guard posts from within the Kia without being seen from outside. The Kia had 3 gigantic gates. The diameter and thickness of the wall from the top was initially equal to, so that a tanker could easily move over it. The residence of Nawab Sahib was in the center of Kia. The house of Nawab Sahib was ordinary earthen-baked brick, made not as impressive as one would imagine from the huge area of the Kia. Nawab of Tank Garden. The Nawab Bagh was situated at the back of Nawab Kia, spread over an area of more than 500 canals of land. This Bagh was well looked after before, during Nawab Qasim Khan time, and perhaps in the early days of Qutbuddin Khan. Nawab Qutbuddin Khan had kept large herd of buffaloes, cows, and it was not unusual to see a herd of 200 or more buffaloes, cows moving toward Nawab Kia every day. Nawab Bagh, as said before, even in the 60s was deserted, has now completely disappeared as the land was sold by Qutbuddin's sons, and a housing colony named Qutub Colony has been constructed over its place right up to City Police Station and Pir Sabir Shah Mausoleum. History. Macedonian Flight. At the Battle of the Hydaspes, fought between Alexander the Great's army and the Indian king Purushotama, the Macedonian army refused to go any further. It is said that Alexander's army was at risk of being trapped, or was faced by an enemy army too big to defeat, and had to retreat southwards through the Makran Desert. Arrival of Islam. The Islam came in the Tank region in 8th century AD, when Umayyad general Muhammad bin Qasim had attacked on the Multan and nearby areas. The tribe known as Arain in Tank district is the generation of those Arab soldiers who came towards Multan with Muhammad bin Qasim. Sikh and British invasions. Finally, the Sikhs from the south overran the local tribes. They annexed the land in 1838. Somewhere in the midst of this turmoil, the British were assembling against the Pashtuns, and the First British-Afghan War commenced. The British took over in 1848. The British regiments weren't able to occupy the entire territory and remained in camps at the foothills of the mountains, while the harsh and dangerous upland terrain remained unexplored. Even the shadows of the hills were hazardous. British colonial rule. The eastern border of the Kingdom of Kabul was undefined until 1893, when the Durand Line was demarcated. At that moment, the line was used to intentionally separate the fierce Pashtun tribes from the tame. Under the same agreement, the tribes of Waziristan were clearly designated as being under the British rule. Tank as a center for negotiation. The British negotiated with the tribes through their agents in the border towns, and Tank was a centre of negotiation with the Masood tribe. For the Britishers, the Masood tribe was the most difficult to control, and in 1860, when the Mullah Shalim Kakar Machikil Masud's Lashkar attacked the British with a 3,000-strong army, the British were forced to penetrate into the territory of Tank to control them. Birth of a province. In January 1899, Lord Curzon was appointed Viceroy of India, reaching India shortly after the suppression of the frontier risings of 1897–98. He paid special attention to the independent tribes of the northwest frontier and inaugurated a new province called the Northwest Frontier Province, and pursued a policy of forceful control mingled with conciliation. The only major armed outbreak on this frontier during the period of his administration was the Masood Waziri campaign of 1901. Politics. The rulers of Tank were Katikil Pashtuns. The current incumbent of Tank National Assembly seat is Engineer Dawa Khan Kundi of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Mahmood Khan Bitani had one provincial assembly seat of PK69 in the general elections. 2013. Tank considered to be the main center of Jamiat Ulama Islam, and a number of time JUIF chief Maulana Faisal Rahman and his brother Ator Rahman elected as a member of National Assembly from this district. Another prominent political family is Kundi family, and they also elected from this area in past. But both families, Kundis and Maulana Faisal family, failed to resolve the problems, especially scarcity of pure drinking water is one of the bigger problem being faced by the people, particularly Maulana brother Atta Rahman elected from Tank twice as a member of parliament, and later he enjoyed as a federal minister for tourism, but he never bothered to visit Tank during ministership. Because of that, in election 2013, people rejected Maulana's son Maulana Asad Rahman and elected Dalikundi as MNA PTI. The current Nazim of Tank district is Advocate Zahid Khan Arain. Language. Pashto is mainly spoken in Tank, which is also spoken in neighboring Lakimawa Dist. Tank also has few people speaking Saraiki. The vast majority of people are conversant in Urdu. English is understood by the most educated people. Culture and society. People make the livelihood by farming, land ownership, gun running, smuggling, falcon catching, migration for employment to the Persian Gulf, or by ownership of shops and businesses in Tank. Jiga, by definition, means council. These are the religious circles and a group of people that decide the fate of the dwellers and rule the people by the sets of laws and principles.